Hello, once again, I'm David Frazier, the founder, president, and chief market strategist of Frazier, Brown and Mayer LLC, the provider of InvestorsMonitor.com. In our previous 4 videos regarding our internet website, I discussed the major factors that tend to affect the future direction of securities prices. Those factors being economic factors and developments, political factors and developments, quarterly earnings announcements, and company-specific factors and developments. But there's also one other factor that tends to affect the future direction of securities prices, and that is what's going on in the overall markets. For example, studies have shown that approximately 75% of the direction of any given stock is determined by the direction of stock prices in general as measured by the S&P 500 index. So let's take a look at our timing monitor pages. Okay, first of all, to access the timing monitor pages of our website, you need to first be logged into our site. Once you're logged in, you then would just go up with your mouse, come over to here in this gold-colored menu bar, and put your mouse over timing monitor. And what we have here are one relatively intermediate term market timing charts and 2 relatively short term market timing charts and 1 very short term market timing charts. And although I've already covered in a previous video our buy-sell index, I'll go ahead and click on that. And on Sundays of every week, I provide a really short comment on what the most recent reading on our buy-sell index is telling us regarding where stock prices are headed are likely headed over the ensuing few months. Next, our sector relative performance index is essentially a sector rotation model, and we have a chart that displays the price performance of stocks of companies that operate in the United States 10 major economic sectors. And you can go through this chart on your own, but for the week ended June 14th, the best performing sector was the basic materials sector. On average, that is, stocks of companies that operate in the basic materials sector outperformed all other stocks of companies operating in all of the other 10 major economic sectors on average over the prior 6 weeks. And again, I provide a brief comment regarding what that sector performance is telling us, what it's suggesting regarding the near-term future direction of stocks. Next, if I can get to the right place here, our market leaders index, which is also a relatively short-term forecasting index or indicator. This is a chart of the performance of 34 leading growth and or cyclical stocks since the latest stock market bottom, in this case, when I'm recording this video on June 20th of 2019, was on March 9th of 2009. The performance of 34 leading and growth stocks, that is leading growth and cyclical stocks of companies that outperformed most other stocks during that bull market. And again, I provide a few comments on what the latest direction of that overall index was suggesting regarding the near-term future direction of U.S. stock prices. Lastly, in our overbought, oversold indicator chart, this is a very short-term forecasting indicator, and you can see once this indicator rises to this overbought level, well, if you go through this closely, you'll see stock prices in general measured by the as measured by the S&P 500 index, tend to pull back. Okay, if you just go through this, when it falls to oversold territory, the S&P 500 index tends to increase during the ensuing weeks. And I provide a comment of my analysis to whatever that oversold indicator is telling myself and my team during any given week. Next, we also provide up here in our current investment environment a synopsis of our overall thinking regarding the near-term future direction of U.S. stock prices as well as stocks of companies in other major regions of the world from both a somewhat long-term fundamental perspective as well as a very short-term trading perspective. And lastly, we provide on our timing monitor section our investment environment rating, and you can read through this on your own, but it ranges from 0 to 10. 10 essentially indicating that one should be fully invested to stocks, to equity securities. At 0, one should be completely out of the stock market. So that's our timing monitor, and that's a very important section of our website. Okay, I've now covered all of the main pages of our internet website, and I'm confident, very confident, that if you visit our site on a regular basis and read what's on the different pages of our site, that you'll avoid the big downturns and profit from the major upturns in the worldwide financial markets and invest in the right asset classes, economic sectors, and individual securities at the most favorable times. And that's especially true if you also subscribe to our monthly investment journal, Fraser, Brown & Mayer's Strategic Allocator. Having said that, there is one other page that we provide on our site, and that's called our Stock Scorecard page. And what that is, it's a page that actually directs you to a strategic partner of ours that has developed an automated value-based stock selection algorithm that we have found has been very accurate in forecasting the very near-term direction of any given stock. So I thank you for watching and listening, and we'll share that video with you here within the next couple of days, and we look forward to developing a long and prosperous relationship. Thanks again.